I'm here at Radio Days with Antonio. Antonio, hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Talk to me a little bit about you. Talk to me about your career and also, if possible, what you do now as well for anyone that's watching.
I'm a program director of a Portuguese radio station, RFM, which is a national radio station in Portugal. We are fighting to become number one, and I think I'm one of the oldest program directors in Europe, probably.
Oh, wow. How many years, if you don't mind me asking?
More than 20.
More than?
Yeah, more than 20.
More than 20 years. Wow. So radio for you growing up was a big part of your life?
Definitely, yes. Fortunately, I've had the chance to testify the evolution of radio throughout all these years, and it has been amazing because like when I started, we basically had producers and presenters, and nowadays our rooms are so diverse with video editors, social media editors, motion graphic editors, so it's I would say much more fun now.
Yeah. How many people are in your team roughly?
About 30.
Okay.
But what's interesting is that the amount of presenters that we have now, it's more or less the same that we had like 20 years ago. So it's about 10, 12. The team has grown a lot with these other functions that we didn't have on radio. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, the different roles and everything. And also we were saying yesterday about how a lot of people talk about like image and actually how that's now sound design because there's so much digital content. Like the roles have really changed in radio, don't you think?
Yes, definitely. We have, and the challenge is to integrate all these different functions because it's much more challenging to have and to create and develop a consistent brand like RFM. Hopefully it's a consistent brand having all this diversity inside your team.
Yeah, and diversity is a key word within job role, but also I'm curious is in sort of within, okay, I'm a woman, let's talk about how different that's changed. Do you find that your team, there's now a better balance of diversity?
That has changed a lot because when I started radio on back in the 80s, at the end of the 80s, we had on RFM, we had just one woman, and now my room has a glass wall, and I can see all the team, and much more than half of RFM team are women. So and that happened quite naturally.
Yeah, of course. Well, I think it's really important for society to be reflected back. You know, when we talk about radio, we talk about authenticity, we talk about connection with people, and actually for the team to reflect the community that we're talking to must be really important.
That's crucial. I mean, you can't talk to your audience if you don't understand your audience, and in order to understand your audience, you need to reflect it. So it's very important.
Yeah. Okay. We've talked about the past, your past, sort of a little bit about now. Let's chat about the future. Is AI a thing in your world right now?
Not at the moment, but I'm sure that very shortly it will become a thing. Well, it's already a thing, but not on RFM. Actually, we are trying something that goes along with the AI, which is metaverse. We have a space on metaverse. We have developed a space on metaverse in which it expands the experience of your listener with the brand. So, for instance, on RFM space on Spatial, which is the platform where we are, you can run virtually with one of our presenters, Pedro Fernandes. He's a runner. He runs a lot. He participates in every trial that there's in Portugal, and you can run virtually with him.
Oh, wow!
Which is really interesting. And if you have the goggles and if you wear the glasses, these glasses,
you're literally in it with him.
Yes, you'll have a very immersive experience, and it's really interesting because this expands we have more things there. We have creative events there with bands, and we have a chef on our station, and the chef gives recipes, and it's really interesting. It's fun.
Yeah, so you're talking almost VR and a combination of AI there, and
yes.
You're finding that's working really well for you.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So if you need to try it.
Okay.
Go to Spatial. type RFM and have the experience.
Okay, I feel like I will. I want to see this because I can say, you know, obviously, ignorantly, I live in the UK, so the UK landscape is something that I'm very familiar with within the radio world. I don't think I can think of anyone doing VR in the UK.
I don't know either, but it's the best part is that it's in Portuguese and in English, so
Great.
you'll understand it.
Great.
And you'll have fun.
I'd love to say I could speak Portuguese, but sadly, not. I can barely speak English, so.
But it's a fun language.
Yeah,
you,
exactly.
You should learn it.
Yeah, I know. I definitely should. Move me to Portugal. I'll be a presenter for you, and then great.
You'll be welcome in Portugal.
Okay, we're talking about the future of radio outside of kind of the digital landscape, from AI to VR. What else do you think we might see over the next 10 years of radio?
Definitely the growth of podcast. Podcast is becoming a thing, and what we are seeing in radio is that, well, linear radio is still crucial for us,
Okay.
For all of us. But what we are seeing is the growth of different touch points with the listener. So podcast, I mean, the bits that you cut from your programming and the ones that you create specifically for podcast are becoming much more important for every day. Even in Portugal, we are watching a huge growth of podcasts in Portugal.
Okay, so podcasting is something that we should maybe be focusing our time, energy, and attention on.
Podcasts, AI, metaverse, all these new things are becoming a thing.
And the future for you, will you be a program controller for the next 20 plus years? What does your future look like?
Yes, I think so. No, I don't know.
Well, maybe we have a chat next year and
Probably we will.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.